Okay, I think we're here. Let's double check because I had a bit of a mess up just a minute ago. So let's see what's happening. You see me? Hello, YouTube. Hello. That looks like me. I'll just mute that. Actually, we're on. Excellent. Not bad. So anyway, if I look like I don't know, a bit rough, and I feel that way. I've been sick. I've been sick this past week. It's just not going away. This thing. This doesn't seem to be going away. Hold on a minute. My mic. My mic. Hold on a minute. Mic. Yeah. This is. Let me just double check this. Oh, I see. Let's switch to this mic if I can. If I can. Oh dear. Let's see what I've got plugged in. See, this computer here is an HP, and I don't like it because it just doesn't have enough USB ports on it. My wife got me this, so I can't really complain. But it is annoying. It's very annoying. So let's just see. It'll be quite a minute. It's going to be probably an annoying note. I want to see if you can at least hear me. Let's just see. Okay, that'll do. This is my mic, my proper mic, but I'm not going to use that today. It seems to be working. That's fine. Let's put that aside for now. So, basically, I want to talk to you about a couple of things that might be going on. I hit on an idea. It's quite simple, and I put it out on Twitter and on my LinkedIn account. And basically, it's about bringing in your senator. I mean, let's look back to January, February 2021. We had Ted Cruz and AOC on the same page. There's a novelty, and that's something. Although we haven't heard much of them since then, about as far as meme stocks go, it's still something perhaps we can work with. And so I hit on an idea of providing a short script, and I did that. I'm going to put the link somewhere down here, and I should go get it, put it here. And basically, if you just go there to my website, you'll see exactly what you have to do. You just read it, you go to your senator's website, you fill in your name and address, whatever, to prove you live in wherever, Idaho, or wherever. And then you you copy and paste the script I've already given you. I've given you the script to copy and paste, because great due diligence is being done now, and we're beginning to really see things as they truly are. I think personally, Ken and the rest still believe they're gonna. Oh, here's this Russian guy again. I don't understand what this means. Vom Red. I don't know what that means. Well, I take that shit off my website, please. Thank you. I don't understand that. So that's very odd. I had this guy the other day came into my chat room also and post some nonsense like this. Just Russian nonsense by the looks of it. Anyway, so as I say, there's a way of doing this. It costs us nothing. All it is putting it in the hands of those guys upstairs, the senators. Now, there's a twofold. As I've pointed out, there's two things come out of this. Even if your senator just gives you the brush off, he's not interested. He's going to look at it, or at least his assistant who read the email is going to look at it. He's going to learn enough. So, at later times, when it might be relevant, this could. I mean, look at last year, all the people being brought up before Congress for their part in God knows whatever. How Kenny and Vlad the Impaler had to defend what they'd done. That could all happen again. I'm just going to eat something here. These things, look at this. Look. Very good. hot. I have to like these. I have to like these. Well, they're hot peppers, you know, cherry peppers. Incredibly juicy. And hot. So anyway, so we're in a situation where we can affect some change. I see it like bringing people in. It's like a briefing. It's like you're bringing people up to date, whether it's senators or whatever. But in our case, when you look at Ted Cruz, he's a hotshot lawyer. If you look at whatever you think of him politically, you can't take away from the fact that he is I think he's a Harvard Law School. Quite an incredible guy. Maybe a future president, who knows? But if you look at that, stuff like that, you really think these are the people you do want on your side, and you do want to bring back into the fight. As I said, I'm still sick. Especially 2 people in my household sick at the moment, and so that's quite a challenge. You get that. We have to rely on each other. I just had a long bath that seemed to help me, because I've been I don't know if this is Omicron or just a very bad cold, but it's chesty. It seems to be. You hear that? Sinking down into my chest. I've been taking N-acetylcysteine. It's a very good drug, by the way. N-acetylcysteine is very good if you ever have chesty problems, and basically you can prevent it from getting down into your lungs to some degree. So might shorten the life of the cold or whatever it is. So I've been quite sick, but I had a long line in the bath there. I was in the bath for about an hour with hot water right up to here, and it was just, I kept just topping the hot water up. Oh, it was lovely. So, and when I came out, you know, I felt, well, best I felt all day, to be quite honest, in the past maybe 24 hours, because it, you know, kind of heated me up inside, and maybe shove maybe a hot drink, coffee or tea or something, but these are spicy. These are awesome things. Absolutely awesome. I grew a lot of peppers in the garden. The frost of last week seems to have killed off my plants, but the fruits are still on them. Got tomatoes and some peppers. So I'll probably have to pick them and eat the tomatoes. Don't keep long, have to eat those, but the peppers will keep a bit longer. Put them up and put them in breakfast for the next, you know, maybe even cut them up, freeze them. Anyway, back to what I was saying, you know, what's nothing. I think it's been something that's been looking me in the face for all this time, thinking how can we get this up there? How can we get this in front of the right people who are going to work with us to get this finished? So that's what I've been doing. It hit me like a eureka moment. I think the way things have gone, we have to fight this on many fronts. You know, over the past year, you know, a lot of people come up with good ideas. You know, and we've been more or less behind them. Well, a lot of false starts as well. There was the guy who was a bit corrupt, getting Wesley, whatever his name is. He was quite a dodgy fellow, unfortunately. We took a few of the community, and I think I even pledged him some money, and then I took it back because I thought, what a load of garbage. So I'm not quite sure what his game was, but there was people like that. But the idea wasn't so bad, although a lot of people shot it down saying we don't need legal representation. I disagree. I disagree with things like that, and I disagree. Then it was Ape Father, of course. Ape Father wanted some kind of demonstration, and again he was shot down. And I personally, I said to Ape Father, you know, you do that, I'll come to that. There's nothing wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong with peaceful protest. What did we achieve? Some will argue nothing. Just a minute. But I say no. It raises awareness. This is about what this is. Excuse me. This is about raising awareness, which is why you want to bring in people like Ted Cruz and AOC and your solicitor, wherever you are in the country. Because basically, this is what has become evident. I say in the past month. You know, this has been a learning experience this last December. I don't think there was ever a week I didn't learn something, and I've been trading for years. You know, I've been trading, investing for years, and it's like something. You know, Pandora's box. You just can't put it back in the box. Once it's out, and it's like the things I know now. I think, oh my God, why did I? If I'd known this, like say 5 years ago or whatever, I would never have invested. I would have just said no, to hell with that. Because, and when I look at the truth that's coming out now, and you look at how stories. I mean, you could look back. I was just looking at someone's video a few minutes ago, quite interesting. He was giving us a story from about, I think it was 10 years ago, and all the main banks. The four main banks in the USA, Chase, Bank of America, well, it's just JP Morgan, I think it's all the same, isn't it? I don't, what's the other ones? Don't know. But anyway, so these banks, how they were conspiring with the people who were rather dodgy individuals, and the SEC, FBI, whatever, put an incredible case against these people, and at the end of the day, all they got off with. You know, the banks and whatever got light fines. You know, the three guys got like 36 months in jail. This is insane. That is not a punishment. I think one got 24 months in jail, and yeah, and you know what jail sentences are like. He probably served about 6 months of that and got out. So I wouldn't be surprised. I've no idea. I know nothing about these things. But what a terrible situation. And you think of not just the money that was robbed from all these people, robbed from cities, robbed from schools, robbed from hospitals, robbed from roads. This is insane. This is theft from the nation, and that was the worst that could be meted out to them as a punishment. It's like someone was pointing out to me about we look at these hedge funds. Let's not name any. Keep this. Legally, whatever. So, but I don't need that nonsense. Let's look at the facts of it, though. How some people, what we consider the fines, which are really minimal, and they would probably consider that the business costs. Write that off in the price of doing business, which is absolutely insane. How do we win? How do we beat that level of? I mean, it's like, you know, corruption. There's corruption, but there's apathy, and it's like a government, or no, not government, but a government departments is more accurate. Nobody elects those people. Who just they seem apathetic, and as long as they get some kind of sentence, they're happy. They don't care. It's like watching the Twitter feeds from the SEC, and you get the occasional story from that they finally brought someone to trial for 4 years ago, and it's a mom and pop operation who they went after, and you think, you know, this is absolutely insane. I can tell you that I have held shares which collapsed to bankruptcy for no reason. Here in Houston, we have oil companies, and I was investing in oil for a long time, and I don't hold any oil stocks today because I don't trust them. I don't want to name any names here, oil company names, but I've held stocks, so shares in companies which just disappeared off the face of the earth. And this, I mean, one of them I could say, like Oreg. I'm going to mention that because I hate that company. It was run by some Greek gentleman who had a habit of bankrupting his companies and then, appearing again. And he seemed to just get away with this. But here in Houston, there's actually oil companies who run to bankruptcy. The CEO stayed in position and came back under new company names, even mergers and whatever. And the equity holders are wiped out. The debt holders are wiped out. But the most important about the equity holders, you and me, we get rubbish out of it, like warrants. I think I got one of them. I got some warrants, and I thought, which I sold for all of $1.10 each, which are absolutely worthless things. And this is what I'm talking about. Now, here's my point. So I'm looking back maybe 5-10 years now, thinking to myself, well, but if that's what was happening, how do I know? How can I be sure this was honest, or was that company naked shorted out of existence? And there's also the instance that this is why I don't particularly like one of the stocks that people talk. I don't trust Sundial. I've said it before. I don't trust Sundial. If Sundial was holding $1, I would maybe have a better feeling about them. But I took a loss in Sundial and sold it. I don't care about Sundial. I won't be coming back into that stock. I don't like the play. Now, I know that Lou and others are really big on that stock. I don't like it. I think Lou's other stock he looks at as naked. And I was in naked for some time. I never had any bad experiences with them, and we consider that maybe a play to look at again. But Sundial, I don't think I would waste another penny on them. That's how I feel about them. I actually got rid of them in December of this year I just took my tax losses on them. I thought, well, I'm going to have to sell something at a loss. I'm going to be holding AMC and holding GameStop, so and some other stuff which I have, but I'm definitely not going to sell those off. But I thought I like to get something back in my tax losses. In this case, it was Sundial. Something had to go, and I was, to be honest, after I sold it, I felt quite happy. I thought, well, I'm not going back there. So, hey, if you're holding it and you're determined, well, great. I hope it works out for you. I just personally, not my thing. I know. It's Canadian stock, isn't it? And out there, grey area, I think. But anyway, the plays right now remain GameStop and AMC. Now, I want to point out a couple of things here. And there's all these people, okay, you got your brackets, and I'm not going to knock them. I think great, you hold on to it if you believe you're going to get to these prices or take a risk. Unlike some people, I've been watching some videos and people arguing, don't do this, don't do that. It's really no one's business what you do. Yeah, if you believe or at least you're going to take the gamble that it might go to some incredibly high figure. I'm not going to even name any figures because I think that's wrong, to be quite honest. Here's how I eat this. It's a sausage and biscuit. If you believe it, then hold on to your dreams. Why not? I'll just tell you, my targets are much less. And they're much less than Lou's targets. And that's not because I'm not a shell, I'm just being realistic. I'm an investor. I look to the future, getting out of this trade, yeah, moving on. That's important. I still expect I expect to make a lot of money. We all do. It's just what is realistic and how much have you invested in it already. It's that all wealth is relative. Let's just say that all wealth is relative. Some people, it's like my good example I always have is like David Beckham paying £5,000 for a set of blue jeans, and me walking into Tesco's in the UK and buying a pair of jeans for £5. That's the difference. At the end of the day, we both only have a pair of jeans. Doesn't really matter. But hey, that's David Beckham for you. But I'm not knocking Beckham. Bex has got a lot of money, and what he spends it on is his business. All wealth is relative, and that means also, how much do you need in life? I don't look at it like some people here like to argue that they're going to sell the shares at $10,000 a share or $100,000 a share or God knows what. No, I don't look at it like that. I look at it differently. I look at the sum I want to reach from all of my shares. I have a sum in my head. I want to reach that. And at the very worst, I want to clear my investment. At the very best, I want to make millions. So we're in the same boat. We just see it from different points of view. So I'm not sure. No, quite the opposite. I'm Duckula. I've been in this since before December 2020, because I was a genuine investor in AMC for the past 3-4 years. I was surprised how long I'd been an investor. I was on Yahoo Finance as Duckula, which is me, and there's a guy I used to talk to from California called Charles, and he said to me, it was you that got me into this. And I said, what? I don't remember. And he said, I'd spoken to Charles, talked with Charles many times, but I just couldn't recall this. And he said, oh yeah. He says it was like a year ago or so. And he said, I don't know. And he said to me, when the stock was incredibly cheap, and why I bought it and what I'd said to him in passing was, wow, look at that. Earnings were bad. That stock's dipped. I'm buying it. And initially I bought it for a swing trade, because that's what I do. I swing trade. And after I'd swing traded, I thought, I kind of like this. And I bought back in. And after that, I went long on AMC. Because I believed in the company, and I believed the stock I was looking at was worth a lot more than a handful of dollars. And then of course, I had a few trades along the way, no doubt about it. There we go. Oh boy, I think it's my ceiling fan is aggravating my cough now. So I was back into the trade, the holding stock long, and then of course Wall Street Bets came along. I was I was reading their stuff in what year is it? 2020. Yeah, I'm getting confused. So 2020, when DFE was out there posting stuff, and basically I think he took more flack than actual encouragement. So he had a lot of ideas, and I think if I'd known what I know now, I would have been more tuned into him. I was certainly aware of what he was posting, and no one influences my investments. No one. I've never allowed that to happen. I'm an investor. I do my own due diligence, but I do. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that I will dismiss somebody's hard work. No way. I look at it and I take it on board, and if indeed I agree with it, or I think it's a Even sometimes I can't agree with it because I don't know. I think, I just take on board and I think, does this sound right to me? Does this sound like a good investment? And if it's good research, generally it does. It is. But one of my little one of my little plays is has long been just like I described a few minutes ago with AMC, looking for a stock that drops after earnings. It depends totally on the stock, of course. If it's some garbage stock, it means nothing. But if it was like, for instance, a stock that was on the Dow, one of the Dow 30, or one of Warren Buffett's stocks like Coca-Cola or Apple, something like that, and I saw bad earnings and the stock dropped, say 5%, I will buy that. I buy that because I know that will bounce. Give it a week, give it 2 weeks, give it 3 weeks. It doesn't matter. And if you apply, oddly enough, the same principle Warren Buffett did, this is something that I find a strange anomaly. Here's something. I've got to laugh at all these guys who jump on Warren Buffett stocks. Now, I've studied finance, and I was reading a book. Was it Warren Buffett's daughter-in-law? I'm not sure. She wrote a book about Warren anyway, how he thinks. And one thing dawned on me, and it was this. Warren Buffett has always bought stock. He sits back and he waits. He just waits. He's very patient. Very, very patient. He doesn't just buy stock. He buys things. He'll wait a long time until the price is right. And when that thing drops, he buys it. And that's how he gets it, and he holds it forever, and basically he will make money. And that's always been Warren Buffett's strategy. It's a great strategy. Funny thing about Warren Buffett, if you really look at his strategies, they are so common sense. It's surreal. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, if you really look at what he does, you think that's just common sense. There's no magic, no miracles. He's just applying common sense, and guess what? It works. So anyway, what I'm saying is, I look at all these people who then jump on what Warren does, and they invest in his stock when it's rising. There's irony for you, because Warren Buffett, he buys the stock when it's fallen. Think about that, and I think that's an incredible trading strategy. It's so simple. So basically, in my positions, I look for, and this is I'm getting away from the meme stocks here. This is real investing, in my opinion. So, or just even swing trading. And I'll tell you why that's swing trading in a minute. This is a trick to swing trading. I watch for stocks like that. See, Coca-Cola had a bad earnings report, and they dropped 5 or 6% on a day. The market is a very strange thing. It overcompensates. Overreacts rather. It overreacts with everything, and it's like the same as if a stock pays a dividend. That's what it's always baffled me, how the market just knows. People say, "Oh, the market prices it in," and you think it's like this living thing. It just prices in the price drop. But let's think about this. Let's say company ABC pays 70 cents dividend. And if you look at it on the day that it went ex-dividend, it doesn't drop 70 cents, it drops like $3. Do you know what I mean? Think about that. And this is like, okay, I'm grabbing these figures at my head, but this is like generally the kind of figures that you see, and it's incredible. So if you are sitting there on the sidelines with some money, that's the time to buy it. You see ABC company, it's just paid a 70 cents dividend, and you are sitting there the next day, and it goes ex-dividend, there it is, the company, the shares drop $3, and if you buy it then, guess what? In a week or two, that's going to bounce back. You're going to get that $3. You're going to pocket that. That's more than the dividend that was paid, and that's invariably how swing trading works for me in many ways, but not just that's just one example. There's many reasons a stock will fall. We had it with Google last week, Friday. Was it Thursday? The report about the the issue, the legal case that Google were tied up in, and they lost the case, and invariably the stock went down. And so there you go. So you had a chance to buy Google for maybe $250 cheaper. And the problem is, the thing is here that people who are offloading Google, it's like an overreaction. I'm not saying that, okay, anything, we've got all kinds of stuff going on this week, like jobs and all this stuff, and these big companies do take hits. But on a fair day, everything going to plan, I don't see Google not recovering that $250 in a couple of weeks, or a month, or 3 months, or 6 months, or whatever. Who cares? Who cares how long you hold it? And that is how to think like Warren Buffett. So, because that's what Warren does. And what gets me is we sit here and we try to copy people piggyback on Warren Buffett stocks, but they buy them when they're rising. Warren buys them when they're falling. Think about that. You could be like Warren Buffett and do the same thing. Let me just have another bite of my sausage and biscuit. Really good. Being hungry, sick. It's affected my eating and all that stuff. But my hunger seems to have come back and came back in a hurry. I'm really naturally hungry tonight and going to eat this. So anyway, that was talking about swing trading basically. I don't like day trading. I don't like it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. If you're good at it, I've met a couple of good ones. I've met a lot of bad ones. And that guy who has never, he's day trading for 4 years and he's never made a penny. He's lost money. And I said to him, well, why do you do this? Why do you do this? I said to him, have you tried? Look, just try swing trading. And he wouldn't do it. He just wouldn't do this. He wouldn't listen to me, a swing trader. Now, why I swing trade, not day trade. It gives me time. Things don't just go lickety split and recover. They just don't. I don't like day trading. And we see them all the time. We see them all the time in stocks like AMC. There's been a dip in the day, and some guy buys it, and then it's after hours, and he's desperately trying to sell it. He's desperately trying to sell what he's holding, because in his mind, he's got this strange. I'm speaking from experience of 1 or 2 people I have met who have this strange obsession that they can't hold it overnight or over the weekend. They must sell, and it's a stupid idea. It's a stupid idea. Rather than just sit there and say, okay, I'll keep it till Monday or sell it tomorrow or whatever. It's just so that's something I don't get about day traders. They think that some of them do. Maybe it's a experience thing. The more amateurish, naive ones, certainly. It's no surprise they don't make any money. I'm not saying you can't make money. Of course you can make money. Like one guy I know who was what he was doing. He had a good strategy. It worked for a while. He would look up, maybe it still works, I don't know. He would look at Webull in the morning. He would look at the most popular stocks, and he would look at the top 3. So basically, he's looking at things like market cap and volume, mostly volume. Because you could be high, you could be there and no volume. You could be up there and still there's no volume, and there's some stupid stocks doing that. And he had some good trades doing that. He would buy the stock early in the morning before pre-market, or in pre-market rather, before the market opened. Then he would hold this thing, and things like we saw it with bingo and things like that. Yeah, it worked. Sure, it worked. In 2021, we certainly saw that. And then, I was on some of those things myself, but to be honest, he eventually conceded that it's not such a good plan. Because I pointed out to him that a lot of those stocks you see there are why it says W at the end. I mean, to the new investor, naive or beginner, you might not realise that that's a warrant. It's a warrant. The company's close to bankruptcy or being bankrupt or wherever, and there's some warrants around, and I don't like that stuff. And it's odd to see those stocks in the morning spiking. And I'm not saying we've seen it. It works. Sure, you can be on some good trades. You can also be on some bad trades. But I think the worst ones I saw were like the Chinese companies. Like you see, they seem to be high on that list. A lot of Chinese biopharma things, and trust me, those are losers. You don't want to do those. But he would get on that, and he would sell it for a little profit later. And I believe what he was saying. He was at one point. I know he was taking maybe 250 a day, and he believed he could take more. But he was happy. He would do that, and then he'd go and play golf or whatever. So I think if you can, I'm not knocking it. It's a living. It's a very good living. You can get consistent trades like that. However, a lot of bad trades there. So you can make a lot of mistakes too. I wouldn't certainly wouldn't tell anybody to do that. By all means, have a go if you want. Use some common sense, but don't bet the farm on it. This is not financial advice, people. I am not your financial advisor. This is a sausage and biscuits. I am not a duck. But you do what you do. I don't know what these Russian things are in my chart here. I don't understand it. I think it must mean something to someone. Not me. I don't care. So this is pretty much I can't really describe it as my breakfast. It's 2:35 a.m. here. I don't know what it is. Midnight snack. But it's not midnight either. I'm just hungry. Oh, do I have my t-shirt instantly? Mustang. Awesome. Touching my beard. So we talked about general trading. Now everybody seems obsessed about brackets right now and fractals. I must admit, watching some of these guys with the fractals are quite interesting. I can't deny that there are times when almost the same pattern repeats itself. I was and certainly in AMC in the past week. There was a couple of days exactly the same. You see the same pattern, and there's something in it. I do believe there's something in it. And I do believe you can predict little spikes from it. As I say, wouldn't bet the farm on it. I mean, it's like old charting, isn't it? People want to talk about double bottoms and things like that. And that's interesting too, or as it's become known in the ape community, the George W's. And I think it might have been me that first said that on Yahoo Finance. Come back a long time ago, calling it a George W. I always call them W's though, because DUBYA after our crazy president, George W. So back in the day. So anyway, Uh, what it is, though, sadly, is a lot of people mistake what these things actually mean. And if you want to get into patterns, you really have to know when you should be buying. Because it is a W doesn't mean that's not necessarily a good thing. You got to watch for it. When it climbs back out, you got to see it. I saw some great explanations of the charts over the years, and it is a small science in itself, and it's fun. And I think you see something like that. I mean, because you saw a W pattern, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to conform to. It's got to climb out in a certain way. I can't do it here in my head. I can't show it. I don't have any way of showing it right now. But it's like I should think I can rig something up here, because this is an interesting thought. I hear all these guys on YouTube talking about George W's, and they never bother to explain what you should be looking for and when you should be buying. I know this because I've done a lot of charting over the years, and I know what it means. I know what to be looking for. So just because you see something doesn't really mean it's there. It's like as I said to someone just recently, it's like try seeing patterns in the wallpaper sometimes. That's the problem with fractals. It's not there. Although, I'm convinced, I believe there's something in it. You get this thing to fit, and you get a good fit there. There was the Common Sense investor just the other day. He had a really good. Actually, that's interesting, because he predicted the spike in the after hours on Thursday, and he was right down to the minutes of it. Now, my friend had told me to expect a spike for different reasons. So the Common Sense investor was very much corroboration for me, and what I would say about his charts was he was able to put it down to in 10-minute increments, and more or less say that it was going to hit within 40 minutes or an hour, and he was right. He called it. Whereas my friend, he was able to say there's going to be a spike in the after hours. He put part of it down to GameStop, but he also put part of it down to something that was going on, which was let's just say privileged information. But well, I mean, I can't take anything away from Common Sense Investor. He wasn't going on news or anything. He was going on charts and fractals, and he was able to predict this was going to happen. And so there you go. The proof is in the pudding. I would let me just get that slide back there, maybe. Yeah, about that. So I think there's something in it. And then I was looking at one guy, and I should find out what his name is, because I was quite impressed with his charting earlier today. Someone on my LinkedIn said, "Go look at this guy." In fact, wait a minute, I'll see if I can find him, because I really want you to look at his stuff. It's good due diligence. And here's the thing I want to point out, though. I'm not saying take what anyone says for granted. You take it on board. You make the decisions. Always you. You do your own due diligence. But in saying that, someone doing the hard work for you, you should always take that on board. Someone's doing the hard work, and maybe even it's work that's beyond your normal, trading experience and whatever. And you see this stuff, and you think, and it might help you decide, and it might help you fix ideas in your head about where the price is going to go in and of a day, and what to do with that. Good if you're trading. No, I don't trade AMC. I don't trade GameStop. I hold them because that's the way. That is the way. I hold them and hope. But that doesn't stop me trading other stocks. I do trade. Trading keeps me going. That is my bread and butter, if you will. Hold on. I'm going to get his name because it's very good. How do I see? I forget. So this is crazy. I'm so used to just you looking at my Roku to see YouTube. I don't watch YouTube on my computer. I never watch YouTube on I watch it on the TV through my Roku, the YouTube channel. So I forget what stuff is. Just kind of crazy. But let me just look. Opening this now. That's obviously. Oh, I can open a whole new page. That's what I do. YouTube. Look at my subscriptions. Because I having found his channel today, I subscribed to it, and I suggest you do too because it's very good. Let's just see. So let's just go down here to subscriptions. Right. I want to get this guy's name. Where is he? Oh yeah, there you go. Extreme Games. XTREME Extreme and Extreme Gains. GAINZ. Oh, heck of a way to spell, but Extreme Gains. I was looking at his video earlier called AMC Algo Exposed Macro Update / Prep. So if you want to look for Extreme Gains later, watch his video. I think it's pretty good. Let's just see. I've also got some messages here. Oh, okay. I got a message from the Common Sense Investor. I was telling him I'd like to do a live thing with him, and he seems to be okay with it. Who knows, that might happen. So if I did, I would like to talk to him about his fractals, how we get into it, and you know, his experiences. I mean, certainly the other day, I mean, I was very impressed with his work. It was most illuminating, even for me, who I've been doing charts for years, and I know a lot of different plays that most of them don't work. Let me just get that straight. You can buy a book off the shelf and, you know, detail lots of great ideas, and with it, and I often feel that the charts, you know, charting things are a bit like that. But no, maybe I'm a convert. Having saw some of this past week, and of course Extreme Gains, who I just mentioned, he was certainly doing that too. Maybe there's something in it, and maybe I'll take another look at it. So, you know, what I like to do when I come across something that maybe I've used in the past and dismissed, or just dismiss in general, and then change my perspective on it. What I like to do is use it in a small experiment, well, which usually come to nothing. I'll be quite honest. They don't, you know. But you know, hey, it's a scientist in me. I'll say, well, okay, I'm gonna put a couple of $100 on something here. We'll have a go at that. Into plays. I've had some good ones over the years. That actually work. Little plays like that, and something like that where, you know, I'm not gonna risk the farm on fractals. But you know. But it's like going back to Thursday last week. I was able to call that myself. It was interesting. This is what I would like to talk to the Common Sense Investor about, because two of us both called that. We both called it. I called it on my Twitter page and my Yahoo Finance, and I posted something on LinkedIn. And then after that, I found his video, and I was watching it, and I was thinking, well, I wasn't that accurate that I could put it down to when it was going to happen within the minutes. I said it in after hours. I expected a spike, and then of course I got the news about GameStop, and that certainly, and the fake news actually. You know, no, what is that news about the NFTs? Or either they are or whatever. We don't know, but we saw that, and it was interesting that we both called that. And he was able to put an actual time element on it, which was something I wasn't able to do. I was very impressed. I was very impressed with that. made me think that oh great, just found my old glasses. so that's more or less what how things were. It was very accurate, and he deserved the applause for it. That's interesting because I was calling the same thing, the very same thing. I said it was happening after hours. For different reasons. So, you know, he's an interesting fellow. So I could learn one or two things from him and get, you know, see how that goes. I think, you know, I've been in AMC since the beginning, as you know. Some of you followed me as Duckula. And what I've always stressed is don't follow leaders. I remember I called. You know, I don't toot my own horn. I'm not that kind of guy. Okay, I'm not that kind of guy. But let's go back to January. It was me that called the spike from $5 to $25. Now, okay, happened in some of the after hours, but I called that on Yahoo Finance last year, and took a lot. You know, they mocked me and said that can't happen. That's not going to happen. Afterwards, a lot of people said, you know, great call. So I got a bit of a reputation on Yahoo Finance. And then, of course, Yahoo Finance banned me. They decided to ban me for 8 months. And amazingly enough, they've given me my account back recently. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. So I've been using it. Because I think, well, now is the time to rally the troops. And what's fascinating about that is the old guard are still there. People that remember all this. And but what I was stressing on them then was that, you know, don't follow leaders. I've said that all through this. My argument has been encouraging people to lead themselves. Stand with me. Stand together. And that, although at that time, I mean, I could have gone and did the YouTube channel thing like other people. I didn't want to do that at the time. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want. And of course, we watched DFV getting dragged before Congress, and I don't think anyone in their right mind wanted to get involved with that kind of nonsense. Or even the, you know, it's just, you know, for someone to suggest, like someone could suggest there was some kind of collusion or whatever, you know, I thought that's not a good idea. I'm an individual retail investor. I'm not telling anybody to do anything on a particular day. I'm encouraging people to make money as I want to make money, but that's all. And that was always my line on it, which is, I don't know what DFV's line was, to be quite honest, and I'm not going to even comment on that, but he's a fascinating guy. In fact, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here today. So, anyway, I seem to have got my account back on Yahoo Finance. Although, of course, we can't post on the AMC board there. You find me on the Hood board occasionally. But I never left the fight. I just moved to Twitter. And I post there. I'm still Duckula. I am Duckula. And interestingly enough, there was a lot of people moved over at the same time as me to Twitter, whether they also were being harassed by Yahoo Finance or they just, you know, had enough of the whole thing. So that was good too. So, what I was trying to say there is this attitude that some people on YouTube have Oh, and I blame it on the TV. I blame it on like these TV shows. You know, Melissa Lee and all these people who seem to want to promote people into the position of our leaders. Um, I'm not even going to comment on the Duck Army thing. This, who I'm talking about, because I remember back in January, when people were joking on the Yahoo Finance board, and I used to put little memes of all the ducks, coming out the sea into Wall Street, and it was Duck Army, and that's the first time a lot of people had that. So suddenly it's, so that's a big deal. It's so trivial. It's unbelievable. How you think that someone would borrow that. I don't think it's a coincidence. That he, with his Duck Army thing and his, I don't think that's a coincidence. But then again, I watched the video with Melissa Lee, and I thought, what a load of garbage. Because these people, I couldn't believe that they made that video and they didn't even mention DFV. Didn't mention once his name once, or his whatever, or any of the people that I remember back in January. So basically, no, these people making money with their YouTube channels, not my thing. I'm not going to do that. Just recently, I decided to put a YouTube channel together for different reasons. I do marketing. I'm looking at possibilities of developing that into all kinds of things. So I've got a couple of channels going, clothing lines, things like that. Things that are interesting to me. Technological issues. This is just one of my channels. This is one I play on, and that's fine. This I kind of hope this channel would be kind of spirituality, pagan, occultish, tarot, yoga, meditation type of thing. Kind of cool, hippie channel. Maybe it will. Kind of the general direction I was trying to push it. We'll see where it goes. I've been a bit lax with it the last couple of months, so maybe get back and give it some thought where I want to take it. Well, it's not meant for profit. Not at all. This is fun. And that's the difference between me and these guys who are making money at the channels. Seems bizarre to me. Some guy who's making a big living out of his YouTube channel, and only ever trades options, is arguing for people to hold and buy and hold. And that seems a bit less than honest to me. Well, this is the crap we've been getting pushed on us. And Melissa Lee, she seems to want to promote people to our leaders. Well, actually, I have no leader. I don't follow leaders. No one leads me. And apes have never done this. This is totally against what we're about. And so are option trading. When someone tells me they trade options and they've made X amount of money doing that, I say, well, that's got nothing to do with holding the stock. That's against the whole ape movement, to be quite honest. Oh, covered a few things here. I have no strong opinions on the certain people. I don't care. So, the common sense investor, I'm following him now. Subscribe to his channel. just fine to it. I'm quite impressed with what I'm seeing. And of course, Extreme Gains, very impressed with his stuff. Generally, I watch Lou every day. Hey, I like the big guy. He's funny, and there's a lot of wisdom, a lot of trading experience. In fact, I quite often I link to his videos on my LinkedIn account. I send my people to go look at them, so and they get a lot out of it. I think that's interesting. I've seen so many people literally drop off the page in the past month or two. Have you noticed that? You go back 6 months, there was all these YouTubers, and they all seem to disappear one by one to just a few now. And there's a couple I really don't like. There's a couple of them I really don't like. I don't like someone telling me to sell all my shares and buy them back again. I don't like someone telling me to. It's just wrong. It's not what this is about. That's a different kind of trading. If you want to put your videos out as doing what you're doing, but don't pretend you're this, but also doing that. That's two different things. It may be even a bit shilly. There's a lot of shows going on, of course. But what I'm trying to say is, I've seen these guys gradually just falling off the page. Now, why is that? To the point that there's only a few left. And the only person I consistently, honestly, listen to now is Lou versus Wall Street. Oh. Sometimes he hates them. He says some sane things now and again. He's an entertainer, though. An entertainer. Not a stock analyst. And I think this is interesting, how Lou has won, in my opinion. Yeah, at the beginning, Lou had a lot of critics. He had a lot of critics. You go back to Easter or whatever, May. I think Lou appeared a bit March into the YouTube thing. And immediately, he had a lot of enemies. A lot of people didn't like him. A lot of people going after him. And they've all gone. They've all gone, or their following has diminished, and people have just walked away. And the other guy who likes to consider himself a public figure, come on now. He walks away. Right? Jeez, public figure. Jesus Christ. Who is he? Prince Charles, or the president of Jamaica or something? No, he's just a guy on YouTube, but he calls himself a public figure. This guy. This is so. That's what I think has happened. A lot of people just say, "Oh, enough of that," and went to people they're comfortable with. And for me, it's Lou. And I think Lou has beaten all those people. There was a time I watched all those people, and now I don't watch any of them except for Lou. And as I say, a couple of new people. And I want to say an honourable mention to Avi in Israel. I know, can't forget him. He's great. My wife loves Avi. She loves his, smash the like button. She loves his stupid dance. His stupid dance. So yeah, Avi's pretty, he's pretty real. I like that. So, what I like about Avi is I don't think he does his crazy predictions anymore. He used to do videos. One would be a price prediction, which usually got wrong, and he would laugh about it. And I like that. He's not infallible. He makes mistakes. But he often gets it right too, and that's interesting. And at the end of the day, it's for me, it's corroboration. No, that's quite different from confirmation bias. Haha. So corroboration, when you have strong beliefs, strong evidence through due diligence, rather than just confirmation bias, where you think something is so. No, when you actually have the evidence to make you think in such a way, and then other people present their stories, and you see how it comes together. I'm kind of interested in the extreme gains guy today, next couple of days, looking at his fractal predictions. Be interesting to see how they go. You know, I mean, I'll never rule anything out till you've seen it, and who knows, maybe. I was doing the fractals on Friday, was it? I think I saw figures there. I saw a spike coming. Not quite as high as he's got them, but I think I was like, you know, at 28.50. I was looking at something with whatever I was messing with, and I saw this little spike, and I thought that's interesting. Well, we'll see that. I don't know. But today, in fact, the market's just opened. I think let's just have a quick look and see where we're looking. A lot of garbage things going on this week, which could change everything. So we just have to wait and see. Oh, okay. So pre-market, we're down 18 cents right now. That's kind of typical. As people point out, I don't think AMC investors sit up till or get out of the bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, 3 o'clock my time, Texas, 4 o'clock other places. Just to sell those shares. That's madness. So yeah, I see the. Let's have a look at game. GME. Amy and Gamey. Oh, yeah, okay. GameStop's down $1.79 right now. That's not so great. Same principle. Nobody sets up till 4 o'clock in the morning to sell the shares. It's just Kenny's bots doing what they do. So anyway, but the point of the matter is, what was I talking about? Yeah, I want to see how these fractals go this week. This is interesting. It's something I was aware of and had, you know, played with, but never took them seriously. And now I'm ready to say, yeah, I'll give those a go. You know. I mean, it's undeniable. I mean, I was thinking like a couple of the patterns in particular that I saw in the Common Sense Investors little patterns he plotted were identical. You know, that's reality. You see it. It's undeniable. How the thing progressed throughout a day. It's, you know, it's like I was thinking about making. It's like something I was talking about the other day. You know, I was thinking about making an actual video on horse racing, which is something that's interested me for a long time. I go racing, and it's quite similar when you think about it. When you consider that, if I went to plan on the right day, if the running conditions, the weather's good, you know, whether the horse-like surface or running in mud or wherever, or, you know, in British terms, whether the horse is a course or distance winner in the past, and whether it's a rated horse and things like that. You know, you can look at a horse race and you can say there's a very good chance that horse will win today, and it's much the same. You know, and it's like I think it's the closest thing to the stock market, to be quite honest. Horse racing. And at the end of the day, though, there's, you know, so even if all the conditions and terms are absolutely right and in a fair situation, like if you could create a world where there was no wind resistance and the running conditions were perfect and everything, that horse would win every time. But that's not how it works, is it? Quite often the best horse will, the form horse will win, but all kinds of worldly things happen, and this is why I doubt that fractals are. I mean, they can work to a point, but you're assuming perfect conditions, perfect world, and everything going to plan. It's like, look at this week and things like, I don't know, jobs report and the Fed or whatever. I don't even know. There's so much going on this week. It's none of it's good. None of it's good. It's all touch and go this week. You know, something, it could be good or it could be bad, probably bad, and how it affects the whole market and pulls particular shares down or takes everything down or whatever, or it could go the other way and news could be good and everything goes up, and that's investing. It's just not predictable. So this is where fractal. So you can look at the past couple of weeks and say, yeah, sure, this happened this day, this happened that day, but what didn't happen those days were these events, huge events like that. So, but I guess you could counter that by saying that everything returns to normal. There's status quo, and that, I mean, it's like, again, going back to what I was saying earlier about, you know, buying a stock which has fallen 5%, and this is not something I came up with. This was taught to me. Years ago. If you see a good stock, it has to be a good stock though. Let's say it was an aristocrat stock or a Dow stock or something Warren Buffett holds, and you see that stock drop 5%. 5% is the key number. Then you should buy it and hold it till it improves. Or just hold it. I mean, that's swing trading. You just hold it indefinitely. You've now had a best example would be back a few years ago when Coca-Cola dropped. I can't remember the price, to some ridiculously low price, and it was the first thing I ever heard on CNBC where they actually got something right, and the guy said, "Now I'll buy some Coca-Cola." He said, "I've got a chance to get some Coke in my," and he was right, in my portfolio. And if anyone realised what he was telling you, it was a great idea. Coca-Cola, I think, was in the 30s. Cheap. I wonder what Coke is right now. Have a look, see. You know, saying that, these are stocks that don't move very much. If you look at Warren Buffett's stocks, yeah, it's 60-40. Good long-term stock. Often, though, Warren Buffett stocks don't really move very much. They move a little. And there's a consistency to it. You know, it's like a normal. There's a what's the word? You take, you know, like a benchmark. Yeah, benchmark. That's the word I was looking for. There's a benchmark that you can say. I mean, I have my own little strategy. I don't want to talk about the stocks that I do, because, you know, here's the thing about when you get a strategy or a play, when it gets out there, it will stop working. It always does. Nothing ever works. But I've got this little strategy, and I've been able to set benchmarks on particular stocks, and I hope to get back to that kind of trading quite soon. And I watch for, basically, it's a trading stock. I watch for the stock to drop or the stock to rise, and that gives me my cues of when to sell and when to buy. And generally, I just buy and sell the stock and make small profits from it. But here's the thing. I'd like to point out is small profits are good profits. This is the thing. A lot of people who have got into trading or investing through AMC or GameStop, they've been introduced to investing and finance, but they still have a lot to learn. And if they want to progress in this industry, and one of the things is trading is, you know, the way people are holding or hodling AMC or GameStop, that's not trading, of course. Nor is it investing. So benchmarks are a big thing where you can set a benchmark. And oh yeah, that's what I was trying to get. I lost my train of thought there. What I was trying to say is where people are hodling for massive amounts of money, and that's great. But if you want to trade profitably, we're talking about small profits. I mean, what I try to do, and this is my philosophy. I want to put it to you. I go through a trading week, and where I have a baseline figure that I consider a week's wages. That's right. I sat there and when I cross this number, I say, okay, I've earned a week's wages. And sometimes I just get up and walk away. I get up and if there's nothing I was watching and I don't want to, I just get up and walk away. I say, okay, I've done it. I've reached that. It could happen as early as Monday that I could earn enough to say, okay, that's equivalent of if I was working for a living and not sitting here at home trading. That's a day's living. Sorry, a week's wages. And as I say, quite often it can happen as early as Monday or Tuesday, and the rest of the week I just kind of, I'm there. Might even be sitting on my desk, but I've earned enough. And I want to talk to you, so that's probably what I'm talking about here, about trading, where you want to learn about setting benchmarks. Back to what I was saying earlier, rather than setting a price for the stock that it must get to, like saying my stock, I want $10,000 before I sell it. Rather than doing that, I look to the overall price I want to reach. If I sell all my shares, I want this amount of money. It's a different way of looking at it, maybe. So it's much the same. Whereas, if I trade through swing trading, mostly, very occasionally day trading. I mean, sometimes I'm not a day trader. I want to say that, although I do day trade sometimes, and that's because sometimes an intended swing trade could become a day trade. You see, I could buy a stock in the morning and discover it's went up $5 in the afternoon, and I say that's enough. Boom, it's gone. And so I day traded, although I'm not a day trader. That's quite different. So anyway, just rabbiting on now. But, so if there's anything talking about what you need to earn, what do you need to earn from it? If you're trying to make a living at a trading, you have to have realistic goals. And quite often the realistic goals are very, very small profits, but a lot of very, very small profits. I mean, I've had a stock, crazy, sometimes I'll just say, you buy a stock and you see the thing going down, and I just want rid of that. Here's the thing, I never ever set stop losses. That is something I want to say that also. Never set a stop loss. And this is going to become very important in the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, as we press into this potential short squeeze. Do not be tempted to set stop losses, because that is the algos love them and they will seek them out. And if you set a stop loss, guess what? That's what you're going to get for your stock. You think you're doing this and you're going to be able to climb. It's going to climb and you're safe. But no, what you've really done is you've gave the algos a bargain, and so don't do it. Don't do it at all. So yeah, one or two other things I might talk about before I go off. So someone had come into the chat, I would have sat and talked a bit longer instead of these Russians. I think I had a thought there, but yeah, a lot of people are talking about how they're gonna sell, and that's something you shouldn't. I don't think you should have any hard and fast ideas. What prices? or how you're going to sell them in blocks or whatever. But one philosophy I do like is dividing your shares up and saying how much would I need to sell at such a price just to break even. So let's say you had 1,000 shares or something, and you said if it rises to such a price, if it rises to $100 or $150 or $200, I can get I could sell a tenth of my investment, a tenth of my position, and get all my money back. That's actually a good gamble. That's actually very good, because then you're playing with the house's money. The rest is, that's that. I actually had someone else talk to me the other day. He's very high. He set very high figures. Just something I have not done, and I will not do. I don't think that's realistic. They asked me what kind of figures did I have, and I said, well, yeah, the best brackets are the brackets that Lou has put out, in my opinion. But I don't think they're realistic at the same time. I mean, everybody to their own, and he's welcome to hold his. Everybody has their beliefs, and I just don't believe they're going to get that high. I believe I'm not a shell. I'm being realistic. I hope they do. If you're going to hold out for them, I hope you get that kind of money. But what I'm going to be doing is, first of all, taking my money back at some point, then letting the rest ride for a bit, and then the bulk of my shares would go out at a price that I think is fair. Not at a price, but when collectively they have made me my target figure that I want to walk away with. And the last, as much as 5%, this is how I'm going to do it. My last 5%, I'm going to let ride. Sorry, 5%, 20%. My last one fifth. So I have one fifth of my position at such a price would give me all my money back, my investment, safe in the bank. I don't care what happens next. And then 3/5 of my position, selling at a particular price would give me the figure that I want. And the last fifth, I would let it ride to whatever it goes to. And if it went to 100,000, that'd be wonderful. But I'm not. These are unrealistic figures. I'm sorry, but they are. So this is. But I hope we all walk away millionaires here. I hope we do. But just keep it within reality, and realize that at the other end, is it realistic to imagine that, as one person claims, he's going to hold his shares to $1 million? I don't really believe him, to be honest. I don't. There's not enough money in the world to pay everybody $1 million a share. There just isn't enough money in the world. I can't even imagine how much that would come to. Actually, well, I really can, because we don't know how many shares exist, do we? So I mean, let's think about that. So even if we took the, so I don't know, what is it? Adam says it's 550 million or something like that. So God, to the power of 6. Oh my God, I can't even imagine it. Wait a minute, I need to get. Just a minute. Where's my calculator? Gotta think. Oops. Let's just see. I absolutely hate this Microsoft calculator. It's never been any good in any of the versions of Windows. 550 billion shares? Yeah. Is that right? Yeah. Times. Now, this is only taking the legitimate number there should be. Times 1 million. Okay, I get that to, whoa, Jesus Christ, 550, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 550 to the power of 12. I don't even know what that is. That's why is that? Is that trillions? I don't know. Is that trillions? Hold on a minute. It's not that much money in the world. I mean, 550 trillion. No, and what I'm saying is, okay, this is crazy because we know fine well that most people are going to sell stuff anyway. Yeah, it's. Oh no, 550 trillion would be 5.5 times 10 to the 14. So that is right. If you take, well, that's just insane. So if everybody held the share to $1 million, the market cap for AMC would be 550 trillion. That's not even possible. So that's insane. But here's where it gets insane. Becomes insane because we people estimate that there's billions of fake shares out there. There's just not that much money in the world. So even allowing for people selling at much less prices, we could still be looking at some mad figure like $1 trillion or more. It's just insane. I don't even know. You think how the government can even rationalise this, or I mean, they must talk about it. Times like this, this is why I don't believe it's going to be allowed to happen. Frankly, because I don't think government would allow it. If you get that, you get my drift. You get some kind of thing going on. I mean, I wonder how. So these are incredible figures now. Quite incredible. It's not that much money in the world. So anyway, so I had a calculator a minute ago. What happened to it? Back. Yeah, I'll just leave that alone right now. Woo! Oh well. Let's refresh AMC, see if there's been any change in the pre-market price. Nope, still 14 cents down. Is Kenny trying to pretend to us that people get up early in the morning to sell their shares? Believe that, you believe anything. I frankly don't believe it. Oh, and there's my good friend Alfred posting now. Okay, 3:26. Let's really try and get some rest. Night here. What's left of it.